Hello, and welcome to Health and Wellness with Susan P. Williams. Today, I get to put Susan on the hot seat. Susan, you're used to be the one who's interviewing everyone, but today we just want to meet you, to get to know you. We see you doing great stuff. We see you bringing people information about health and wellness. You're passionate about this. You
Yes.
you post, you prepare meals about. We speak to health and wellness. You exercise, you run, you go to the gym, you do, I don't know whether it's Zumba, the different kind of dances you do, all sorts of things. You just speak health and wellness. Hi, Susan.
Hi. How are you? Thank you for having me. So yes, it wasn't always like that for me. As a young adult, I had settled into some obesity myself, and I had always been into healthcare. So, when you think about health and wellness, I'm trying to put the two together because they do match. They do combine. Um, so that's where the whole health and wellness thing came from, and this is established maybe over 10 years, especially in my own life, battling obesity, and making sure that, I'm just not, being subjective to any kind of generational illnesses.
Yeah, and I will get to that. I'm surprised to hear that you had at some point to battle obesity, because when I look at how fit you look and how much you exercise, that's really something else. But anyway, let's just, let's look in your professional journey. I know you
Sure.
have been in healthcare for a long time professionally. Where did you start from and where are you now? We'll get to the other initiatives that you're doing, but let's just understand your professional journey.
So, I started off in 1993 as a medical assistant, and with my mom being in healthcare, grew up in healthcare, going to the nursing home, helping her with her residents and patients, and there was just a love there from that point on. I've always had an old soul, so working with the elderly became something that I knew would be my career. From there, I went on to become a respiratory therapist in around 2002. I still continue to practice as a respiratory therapist. And then somewhere in 2009 or 10, I became a nursing home administrator, which I currently am right now. So I'm running a full-time position as a nursing home administrator, overseeing a 70-bed skilled facility here in Boston, Massachusetts.
And I must say, Susan, hearing your journey, and what you've gone through and what you have done, that I am humbled as an individual. Really, you have always been working and helping people. So we have different types of professions, and in some professions, yes, we're working and we're doing things, but you are hands-on, really making a difference to people on a
Thank
day-to-day
you.
basis. And on that, I say kudos to you. And the fact that you have managed to carry this through over so many years. Now, can we speak about your wellness, you as an individual? I know you have done weightlifting, you have done competitions and that, in terms of as a health fanatic. Can we speak a bit about that on a personal journey?
Sure. Yeah, sure. So again, just going back to, a couple years ago, you know, um, where my weight kind of took me maybe over 200 pounds. I mean, I'm tall, so people always say, oh, you're big boned it, but do we really even see big bones? That's just a terminology that we use just to kind of, you know, uh, cover up the fact that technically we're probably overweight. So
Yeah.
around 2016, 15, I had said I had enough. Sometimes at some point in your life, you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I remember saying to myself, I'm going to do something drastic. And that was signing myself up for a figure fitness
Mm.
competition, which I did do. In 2015, placed second place in two divisions. And from there, my journey just took off. But one of the things that kind of inspired me the most was that um, I had to pay for every single bit of knowledge or information to on my journey. And I said to myself, once I educate myself, I would never do that to anyone else. I would give my information free. So what you see on my Facebook, my personal Facebook page, is me giving information for free. And
Wow.
it takes nothing out of me to meal prep and give fitness advice, so much to the point where I became a personal personal trainer and a certified nutrition coach so that I could share that information with other people.
Wow, and that's really great work, Susan. And then let's get into. I know now you're currently have a business that you're running, back to home
Yeah.
health services, and I see you doing great stuff. I see you making a difference now, also as a business owner. So this touches on two main issues: the issue of entrepreneurship, the issue of the drive and the consistency. I see you running challenges, 30-day challenges, 1 month challenges, where you're challenging people, other business owners and stuff. And this is great stuff. Can you talk to me about back to home healthcare?
Back to home healthcare, I think, was and subconsciously born in birth in 2010. When I was at, doing my master's program, I had wrote something very similar to this business. And it wasn't until 2020, 10 years later, that I bumped into Yvette again, Yvette Hatkins of Home Care Business Advisors. And, I birthed this actual dream. So initially, the birthing of Back to Home Healthcare was in April 2020, and in August and September, we actually went live. So we soft launched in September, and then November, I got my first client. Working for someone and working as a nursing home administrator had really given me an outlook on how I wanted to run my company. Working for a corporate business, of course, you can't always do the things that you want to do. And I wanted to personalize home care with quality care, exceptional care. I know that it is a business, but at the end of the day, I really wanted it to be a personal touch. So that's where it's coming from.
Wow. I hear you mentioned Yvette Atkins. Can you also just maybe engage on, because I'm one person who's really an advocate of networking, right?
Right.
What are the people that you'd say you've met over the your life cycle throughout, be it in your competitions, be it in the places you've worked, being that you would say they've contributed for you to be where you are now professionally and also as a business owner?
There's quite a few people that have encouraged me and empowered me over the 20-year spans of my healthcare and fitness journey. And I would have to honestly say that one of them is one of my previous guest speakers, Pedro Martinez. I met him in 2002 when I was just coming out of school as a respiratory therapist. He took me under his wing and mentored me. And we have been friends ever since. Colleagues ever since. He's never steered me wrong and always have kept me on the right track. As far as fitness, I would have to say Myra Gilchrist, who is one of my upcoming guest speakers, and a young lady by the name of Brandy Cuthred, who is the guru of healthcare of fitness.
Wow, that's great. So as we wrap up, let's just come back to home healthcare services. We have had so many horror stories as well about healthcare providers. Can you maybe give us a bit of insight into back to home healthcare services? How do you guys distinguish yourselves from other healthcare providers? And even if it's, some examples of kind of testimonials or feedbacks that you have received in terms of how your service has been received so far.
So I would have to honestly say that, with the national caregiver shortage, and I experienced that as a nursing home administrator as well, is that I am looking for caregivers that have the same quality as me. It's definitely quality over quantity. And I'm not afraid to not employ someone who I think may not be a good fit for the company, or who doesn't experience or doesn't believe in the same vision and mission statement as the company.
Wow. No, this is great. And if someone wants to reach out, in which areas does back to home healthcare services, where are you servicing your clients? And
so
how
right
can we reach out to you?
Okay. Good question. Thank you. So Back to Home is out of Attleboro, Massachusetts. However, we are servicing the Suffolk counties, Norfolk County, Bristol County, and Worcester counties. And if they wanted to reach out to us, they can easily find us on our YouTube channel. They can also find us on Facebook, and they could find us on all live social media platforms. Um, they can also locate us through our website at backtohomehealthcare.com or email us at backtohomehealthcare@gmail.com.
Wow. Before I let you go, as your partner, there's two questions that I have. So I'm a
Oh, okay.
proponent of youths and youth development and about reading and networking that I've spoken about. What would you encourage? What advice would you give to a 25-year-old you? That's number one. Secondly, what one book would you encourage someone to read that you have read, that you'd say that it has impacted on you? And from there, we can close the curtains.
All right. So the 25-year-old me is that I don't think when I was 25, I would always see other people who were opening their business, and I just didn't believe in myself at that time. And here I am at 50 now opening a business. So I would say, if you believe in yourself.
Just hold it there. You said you are at what?
50 and a half. Yeah.
Yeah. And a half on top. Wow. Wow.
Lots of water, drinking good, working out. Those things are impediment. I'm telling you, I can't tell you how I feel better at 50 than I did ever at 25 or 30. Honestly, I feel amazing. And I'm very, very thankful for that. But at my 25-year-old, I wish I would have just lived out my dream and believed in myself more.
Wow. And
a book, I would have to say, if I remember the name correctly, the 48 Laws of Power or Power of Law or something like that.
48 Laws
I read.
of Power by Robert Greene.
Greene, yes. I love that book. I read it when I was doing my master's degree, and I remember reading it and having such a different look at life after reading it, looking for leadership. So
it's really a great book. And Susan, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
I know you are a very busy person. We didn't even talk about your meals, and you promised us that you give us a show about your cooking and how you prepare your meals. But Susan, thank you so much, and goodbye.
Thank you so kindly, Stan. I appreciate it.
Cheers.